High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network. 1470 AM and 95.3 FM, the Health and Wealth Radio Network. Get it straight from the expert's mouth on Ask the Experts with host Steve O. Every Thursday at 5 p.m.
The stock market's at an all-time high, and lots of people are making money. But are you the one who gets hurt the most when the market goes down? Did anyone ever show you how money is made when the market goes down? Learn how it's done at Online Trading Academy. Online Trading Academy teaches the right way to buy stocks, options, futures, and Forex. Online Trading Academy's instructors are certified professional traders who are profitable. They show you what they do every day, how to pick the right stocks, how money is made in up, down, and sideways markets, how to time the market, and how to limit the risk. Over 200,000 students have learned to invest. Why not you? Call Online Trading Academy now to attend a free half-day class to see how it works. At the free class, you'll also get the Wall Street Insiders Kit, packed with trading ideas, free. Call Online Trading Academy now, 561-674-9800, 561-674-9800, 561-674-9800.
Now you can get Talk 1470 WNN on 95.3 FM too. Loud and clear, Health and Wealth Radio, WNN.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392-3000 for more information or to schedule a tour with our admissions team, and we will answer any one of your questions. You can also visit our website at whitehallboca.com. For more information, call 561-392-3000. That's 561-392-3000. Whitehall Boca Raton is committed to provide you with the best medical care.
Could you be winning by not losing? Do you know that there are safe money strategies that can benefit you when the market goes up, yet protect you when the market goes down? Hi, my name is Sarah Finkelstein with Signature Advisory Group. I'll show you how you can have safety and opportunity on the same dollar at the same time. You know, most people know where to find safety. That's bank CDs. And most people know where to find opportunity.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Do you have a hot new business or an established business that offers great and unique services or products that you want to get the word out? Are you looking to grow your business and you want everyone to hear the buzz about it? Do you have an amazing project or an idea that impacts our community that you want to share and get others involved in? Then you've come to the right place. You're listening to Community Connections with Norma G. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero, and I want to share our passions while connecting with our community. So now let's get ready to hear about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening on Community Connections with Norma G. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Welcome back to Community Connections. I am your host, Norma Guerrero, and today is November 27th, Monday. It's primetime drive time at 5 p.m., and you are listening to us on 95.3 FM as well as 1470 AM on your radio dial here locally in South Florida. But we are also streaming live on Community Connections with Norma G on Facebook, so you can jump out of your car and tune in there, or vice versa. You can be watching us now live, which actually I need to transfer that over to live here on my phone, which I will do in a moment. And you also can find us listening to us on 1470 AM on your iHeartRadio app, as well as you can give us a call live if you have for any of our guests today at 888-565-1470. And I want to just highlight again the guest that we had on last week. We had on Paul Finkelstein with Mobile Portrait Pros, which is they do the mobile executive portraits. They come to you, they go to your door, and they provide those mobile portraits for you for your.
You want to save time and not
headshot. Yes, there they are right there. You were just showing that, Freddie. And so we also are
front
going
of
to
the
be
computer,
having Sarah
the-
Finkelstein. But there it is right there. The video that shows how they bring the yellow bus to where you're at, and they will provide a headshot for you for your website, your Facebook page, your LinkedIn. And the beauty of it is that they give you a digital shot as well as they give you a couple of 8x10s or 5x7s, so that way you can enhance your executive profile. You reach them at 866-443-0873. And so thank you, Paul Finkelstein, for being a sponsor of the show and for providing that service to our community. And I want to go ahead and introduce our first few guests that we're going to have on today. And we're going to have on a laser tattoo removal specialist, Jamie Plastina. And it's a very, very interesting. She's a registered nurse, and she helps people. If you change your mind, you can change your life. You can have your tattoo removed or lightened. And so she's going to get into the ins and outs of how that procedure is done. Does it hurt? Does it hurt worse than when you originally had the tattoo done? So we're going to find out about her, and her organization is called VanishThatTat.com. Secondly, after that, we're going to have on Lisa Archer. We're actually a returning organization. It's the How Foundation, which is a fabulous, fabulous foundation that I'm learning more and more about. It's the HowFoundationSF.org. Lisa Archer, the development director. And the How Foundation is an acronym for Help Our Wounded. And they are going to be talking about how they provide funds to people that qualify with neurological conditions for hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And hyperbaric oxygen therapy has been proven to provide helpful therapeutic results in people with traumatic brain injuries, with post-traumatic stress disorders, and a variety of other neurological conditions. So we had on Sarah Crane, which was their executive director, on a few months back. And I'm happy to now talk with Lisa Archer, their development director, to talk about what they're doing and how they reach out to the community and also the nation at large to provide these services for helping our wounded veterans as well as people with neurological conditions. So we're going to have them coming on the show shortly. But first and foremost, I want to also bring on the phone who we have, Miss Sarah Finkelstein, who was here last week with My Medicare Supplements for You. And so, Sarah, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Great, Sarah. And so I'm so glad that you're on the phone right now and that you're able to just kind of highlight a little bit about what we talked about last week. And I know what we talked about was a few questions that people may ask themselves is, how do I prepare for my retirement, for income planning, and will I have enough money, and how do I, rest peacefully at night? And so you have an event coming up this week. So could you give us a little bit of a highlight again of what your role is as an insurance advisor at My Medicare Supplements for You?
Absolutely. Well, my first role is to educate the consumer, because would you agree that we don't know what we don't know? So when you work with a professional, the first portion is you get to learn about important things that you should be aware of so that you can plan appropriately for your retirement.
And what would you say is one of the biggest fears that people have?
The biggest fear that I have found is really people are afraid of running out of money, because one of the reasons is we're living longer than ever before. So we need our retirement dollars to last that much longer. Years ago, people retired at 65 and they might live another 10 or 12 years. But now people could live into their hundreds. And so they could be in retirement for 40 years.
Right. And so that extends it longer.
Exactly. We have to stretch those dollars so we don't run out of money before we run out of life.
And what you talked about, well, first of all, excuse me for not saying, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. So much food, but, that's how it normally is. How was yours?
It was good. It was good. I was able to be with the entire family, so I'm very happy about that. You said that you have a specialty dish that you made. You told me last week what's your favorite dish you make?
It's a side dish. It's spinach and mushrooms, and every time I've made it and served it, everybody loved it.
So you did it again?
I brought that. Yes.
I made my sweet potatoes, and everybody went crazy for that, especially when I put the marshmallows on it.
Oh, so sweet.
Yes, I know. It was so sweet. You know, when we were talking last week, you talked about that many people put their money into a 401k, and that that if the market drops at the beginning of your retirement years, that you're more in danger of running out of money rather than if it drops at the latter end of your retirement years. And that was a very interesting statistic for me, or understanding of how the market works between your age of 65 to 85. You called that negative losses?
Yes, yes, because the market, the stock market, it gives returns, but it also takes back. So there are positive years, which is great, and then there are negative years, and we never know which years are going to be positive and which are going to be negative. And in the example that we talked about last week, we had two couples who had the same amount of money, and they were the same age, and they took out the same amount out of their retirement nest egg. But one couple ended up running out of money at the age of 89, whereas the other couple were in their 90s, their mid-90s, and they still had well over $2.6 million.
Wow.
And the reason for that is because the negative returns, the first couple had the negative returns at the beginning of their retirement, whereas the second couple had the negative returns at the end of their retirement.
I see. And so I guess the reason why I wanted you to call in again is like, what is your revolt? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? Because we have no way of controlling that when we approach 65. What the market's going to do is, what is your role to give that people, how are you helping people counterbalance, the fluctuating market?
Well, excellent question. What I do is I sit down with the clients, and of course each person is an individual. They all have different goals and different aspirations for their retirement years. So we sit down, we figure out what do we need to do to get those goals, and what do we need to do to make sure that we don't run out of money, because that's a big issue these days. We don't want to run out of money. And so when we get closer and closer to retirement, we can't take as many chances with our dollars as we did when we were in our early years, like in our 40s or 50s. Once we get closer and closer to retirement, we actually need to be a little bit more conservative.
I see.
At least a portion of our retirement nest egg.
And so I know you help people with that, and I know you have an event coming up this week on Thursday, November 30th. Is Your Family Prepared? Tell me a little bit about that, and where's it going to be, what time, and all that.
Sure. So this is going to be at 1:30 p.m. at the Boynton Beach JCC.
Okay, it's on the screen now.
Oh, okay. And so we're going to be talking about issues that we need to be aware of. People of anywhere from their 50s to 60s and 70s, even younger people, because long-term care, which most of us have not planned for, and the statistics, the probability of needing long-term care is pretty high. Mm-hmm. So it's really a family affair. I say long-term care is a family affair because if something happens to mom or dad, guess what? It's going to be son or daughter that's going to get involved and make sure that mom or dad is well taken care of. So it really is a family affair, and long-term care could actually deplete somebody's retirement nest egg. So we need to plan. We need to plan for the what-ifs in life, because none of us know when the what-ifs will happen or which what-ifs are going to hit us in the head. So we need to plan so
Excellent.
We can be prepared.
So, Sarah, if someone wanted to reach out to you to get a little bit more information on how you can help them answer some of these questions, how to protect your nest egg, what's the probability that you'll need long-term care, what is your phone number, website, and how do we find you, or how do we attend this event?
Sure. So my phone number is 561-302-5760. Mm-hmm. And to come to the event, I think you have the information up, right, and the address and everything for the JCC.
That is at 8500 Jog Road, Boynton Beach, Florida, free for JCC members, or $15 for non-members. You can RSVP to 561-572-9774, and that's on Thursday, November 30th at 1:30 p.m., so in the afternoon.
Sounds great. You did a good job with that.
Well, I printed out. I mean, I appreciate you sending me the information, because this is what I like, is when people send me information, because I'm happy to share it. Because as you know, and as we've talked many times, as an occupational therapist, I have treated many patients in their elderly age, 70s, 80s, 90s, and of course into their hundreds. I treated a 102-year-old lady this past weekend, and some people are prepared, and some patients they're not prepared. And it really changes the stress that they have while they're performing their physical therapy, their occupational therapy, and it's really fascinating, and that's why I love sharing this information. And as I want to mention again, I want to thank Whitehall Boca Raton for being able to put a show like this on today, and it's for you as well, for my Medicare Supplements for You.com to be becoming a partner and a sponsor of the show, to be able to bring in like the guests that we're going to have here subsequently on the show to share about their specialties. And one of them is a charitable organization, and one of them is a new small business. And I'm happy to, on behalf of Whitehall, which is a skilled nursing and rehab facility, providing physical therapy, occupational, and speech therapy services located in West Boca Raton. They can be reached at 561-392-3000 or at www.whitehallboca Raton. Sarah, because of that, we're able to bring this information. So I hope you continue to listen about these new guests that I got coming up. They're really interesting themselves. And so great to talk to you. And
thank you.
Say hi to Paul for me as well.
I will. Thank you, Norma. It was fun.
Yes, absolutely. And good luck at your event on Thursday. I hope that you are able to help people prepare for the future. I mean, I see it in the eyes when I work with those folks at that age. So I hope that you're able to help give them that security. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot.
Have a great day. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and then we're going to bring Jamie Plastina on with Vanish That. Oh gosh, I lost it. Vanish That Tat.com. And she kind of bringing me up to date that the new trend is that you put .com on the name of your business. It's no longer Vanish That Tat, it's Vanish That Tat.com. So I guess it's just a way for all of us to remember how do we find these folks a little bit faster. And so I guess I'm communityconnectionswithnormag.com. It's actually ccnormag.com. If you'd like to go to my website, it's a website that shows you about how to be a guest, about the sponsors of our show, about my background. And so you can visit it at ccnormag.com, or you can reach out to me at 954-802-2015 or at ccnormag@gmail.com. I'm happy to talk with you if you or to how to find any of these guests. And so we'll be right back with Jamie Plastina with Vanish That Tat.com. We'll be right back.
You want to save time and not be in front of the computer, the dark room of the new photo generation. Let Mobile Portrait Pros come to you, offering business portraits, executive portraits, mobile headshots, actor headshots, and campaign headshots for political teams. Innovation at Mobile Portrait Pros serves Palm Beach County and beyond. Just call 866-443-0873. That's 866-443-0873. Headshots door to door.
Could you be winning by not losing? Do you know that there are safe money strategies that can benefit you when the market goes up? Could you be winning by not losing, yet protect you? Do you know that there are safe money strategies that can benefit you? My name is Sarah Finkelstein with Signature Advisory Group. I'll show you how you can have safety and opportunity on the same dollar at the same time. You know, most people know where to find safety. That's bank CDs. And most people know where to find opportunity.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392-3000 for more information or to schedule a tour with our admissions team, and we will answer any one of your questions. You can also visit our website at whitehallboca.com. For more information, call 561-392-3000. That's 561-392-3000. Whitehall Boca Raton is committed to provide you with the best medical care.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Hey, Jimmy Like. Welcome back to Community Connections. I'm Norma Guerrero, and I'm the host of the radio show, Community Connections Norma G., and you're listening to us live on 95.3 FM and 1470 AM, and we are live streaming on Facebook at Community Connections with Norma G. And so I'm going to go ahead and introduce our kind of first guest in the studio, but our second guest is Jamie Plastina. She's a registered nurse. She has a bachelor's in science and nursing, and she's the owner and operator of VanishThatTat.com. And so, Jamie, it is such a pleasure to finally meet you because we are alumni of the same high school.
Yes, Coral Springs High.
Coral Springs High School. Go Colts.
Go Colts.
So it's amazing how, I get a phone number from someone that, on behalf of Whitehall that says, I'd love to highlight you on the show. And after a few minutes of kind of you checking out my Facebook, you realize that we're both, we're raised in Coral Springs.
That's right.
What a small world.
Yes.
Isn't
absolutely,
it?
Yep.
It's incredible. And so she has a background in nursing, and I have a background in occupational therapy. And so, as you can see, I'm doing the show, and now she's kind of venturing off into this vanishing tattoos or lightning tattoos. And so, how did you get into that?
Well, about 6 years ago on an airplane, I was talking to my daughters, and I've always wanted to be in business for myself. I've had several other businesses, small staffing companies for the home health industry and that kind of thing. So I was trying to think of what's going on in the world these days and how can I get a jump on that and maybe make a living out of it and help people. Being a nurse, that's always the focus. And I came up with tattoos. Everyone's getting tattoos, and it's can be an amazing form of self-expression. And there's some amazing tattoo artists that use the skin as their canvas, and it's a beautiful thing. So I thought, well, does it have to be permanent? What if you get one and you don't like it, or what if you were in a different place in your life and you got a tattoo and then you decide, oh, I don't want that anymore, or I want a different kind of tattoo. So I thought there had to be a way that tattoos don't have to be permanent anymore. So for about 6 years, I did a lot of research about it. Tattoo removal is not a new thing, but what's new about it is the technology that's evolved to make it as good as it is today. So after being in the home health industry and taking care of the elderly, as you have.
Well, yeah. So you understood what we're saying.
I had enough, and I wanted to, kind of pursue my passion, which was tattoo removal, and with the amazing support of my family and my husband, I've been able to do it.
That's incredible. I mean, and that's a story of entrepreneurship, and this show has given me the opportunity to kind of expand outside of the hospital and expand outside of the rehabilitation gym, but yet still feel like you're taking care of people. And we had the conversation on the phone that your background as a nurse puts you in a little bit different position than the next person because of the fact that you have that medical background, of being able to assess skin and skin types and to determine whether or not the laser is safe enough for their skin to endure that type of treatment, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, what I didn't realize as I looked through your website is that there's a difference between removal and lightening. Can you clarify that?
Well, it's technically the same procedure, but lightening would be getting it to a certain stage that the tattoo artist can put a different tattoo, a different picture, a different form of expression on top of an old tattoo that they had. You only can put dark over dark. So if you have a black tattoo, but you want a different color tattoo, you have to lighten up that black ink before you can put a different tattoo on top of it or a different color ink.
So that it can absorb a red or a blue or a yellow
right, so
or anything.
It's more of a clean canvas again where they can put whatever colors they need to. If you're going from a black tattoo to a black tattoo and you can a small one to a bigger one, sometimes you can just cover it with the black. But tattoo artists are limited if they can't cover it with what's already there. So interesting enough, a lot of my business is coming from tattoo shops that have customers that they can't help with the existing tattoo they have. So
you do a lot of lightening.
I lighten them up, and it's just the difference between complete removal and lightening is there would be less treatments.
Well, that was going to be my next question is that, does it take less treatments if it's lightning because you don't have to keep
You don't have to get it completely off.
Right. Interesting. And so where is your shop located?
I'm at 4400 West Sample Road. 4400 West Sample Road, Suite 240. It is in the Township Shoppers Plaza. There's a McDonald's right out front. It's on the corner of Sample Road and Lyons.
So you're in Broward County. You're in Broward County.
Broward County, yeah.
Sample and Lyons. So you're you didn't move too far from Coral Springs.
Right.
Okay, great. And then the phone number to reach out?
954-657-8859. And that's the direct office number.
That's interesting. And so the other thing that I also found that I found your website to be very short and concise, but actually with enough information that you need that, as far as the few things is what's the difference between this and that, why you would a little bit of the psychology, why you would potentially would want to maybe have it removed, but also the pain management aspect of it. So can you talk a little bit about the pain management aspect?
Sure. The biggest question is, does it hurt?
Yes.
I heard it really hurts to get a tattoo removed. And along with the laser technology evolving, so has the pain management level has evolved. There's a machine called the Zimmer, and the Zimmer I purchased along with my laser, and it's freezer air that is in the form of a hose that you can get your client to help participate, and it's freezer air that kind of you hold on the skin before, during, and after the treatment, so it freezes that area. It's a topical, ice is a topical anesthetic.
Okay.
So it numbs the area, so when the laser hits the skin, it's less painful. I've had guys tell me that have a very high pain tolerance. I said, "Where's your pain?" on a scale of 1 to 10 during this procedure, and they said it's about a 3 to 4.
Wow.
So the Zimmer cooler really helps with the discomfort of tattoo
Is that
removal.
similar to what the? I'm not trying to make a joke, but it's the bartenders that they make these nitro. I don't know if nitro is the right word. These frozen drinks, and then all the steam and smoke is coming up of it.
Similar.
But it goes frozen very quickly.
It's kind of like a freezer. It's a mobile freezer that's in my office, and there's a hose attached to it. It's a Zimmer, called a Zimmer cooler, and you just hold the hose over it. And I get them doing that prior to the treatment, so it's nice and iced up, and then they can and then we do it during the treatment because the laser's putting heat into the skin, and you want that heat it's the photothermo relaxation time that's important. Once you hit the skin with the laser, you want it to cool, but do what it needs to do, but then cool right away. So, because laser tattoo removal is not invasive and it's not destructive at all to the skin. It simply the laser hits the larger ink molecule and breaks it up into smaller ink molecules that the immune system can eliminate. So the white blood cells go after the foreign body, which is the ink.
Okay.
But it can't eat the ink molecule when the ink molecule's big, and that's why tattoos stay on the skin. You can see the forms of the pictures because the ink molecules are so big that the immune system can't. It's recognizing it as a foreign body, but it takes years and years. It would take 100 years to get all those large ink molecules through the immune system.
And what happens to the skin when the skin's darker, when you go to remove a tattoo?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, does dark skin absorb color?
It does.
Okay. Most of the times when I see dark people, sometimes I see some color, but usually they're pretty dark. People with dark skin.
It's important to get proper training. I was trained in Denver, Colorado by Quanta laser people. I have the Quanta Evo Q plus C. It's the new generation in laser. And the training is the most important thing because you don't want to hypopigment someone's skin. So if I have an Afro-American or
that's what hypopigment means.
Or a dark-skinned person with a black tattoo comes in, I have to go low and slow because I don't want to remove their natural melanin, their color. That's their natural skin color. I just want to eliminate the ink, not their natural melanin.
And so can you control the power of the laser?
You can. That's the part of the training that's really important. You have to use the right wavelength for the right color and the right frequency, which is the intensity. And the laser has different spot size, larger spot size and smaller. And depending on the size of the tattoo, you determine your spot size. So there's a lot of technology behind it, and it requires good, proper training.
Well, if you want to have the person not look like there's like now a scar burn, you know, I don't know if there's a risk for scar or for burning, but just like, you know, I treat patients too, and if I don't utilize either an ultrasound or electrical stimulation, even if it's ice, I mean, not so much ice, but heat, you know, properly, or even tape, when I tape patients, if I'm not careful with monitoring the skin as well, you know, and assessing the skin, I can burn somebody as well or tear off somebody's skin, and they can end up with a skin blister. So I know what you mean, where you have to have the right training. It's not just any Joe can just walk into a therapeutic gym and provide, you know, these types of things for people and endanger them, especially when you're dealing with everybody's skin type is so different.
And along those lines, there's pre-care and post-care guidelines for the clients to follow. So if they come in and they want a removal, by the way, they can book a free consult through my website and just come in and talk about the procedure to determine whether they want to have it removed or lightened. But it's part of it's my discretion as to whether they're healthy enough to, you know, go through the removal, or if their skin has scarring, or so there's a lot of medical things to look at as well.
You take vitals?
No, we don't take vitals.
No?
Although I have a stethoscope.
I was going to say, do you have a blood pressure? Just in case. I mean, I don't
somebody
think
gets, you know.
You never know. You never
overwhelmed
know.
with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so you treating all age groups?
Yeah, pretty much. It's 50% laser and 50% the client's immune system. So if someone comes in, that's part of the medical piece, being a nurse behind it, that I have to determine whether they're healthy enough and their immune system's healthy enough to go through the removal process. So if somebody was immunocompromised because of some kind of illness, I would require them to get medical clearance from their physician or from my medical director prior to being able to go ahead with the treatment.
And so a couple questions. What is the, let's say a guy or a girl, they have like, let's say like a tiger or a cougar. You know, they have the face of like a cougar, and they want to remove that, you know, off their shoulder. How many treatments would you think that would take to remove something like that, you know, a round size tattoo?
Okay. Well, that's determined by many variables. One, how old the tattoo is. Two, if it was professional or amateur tattoo. The location on the body, and the type of ink. But a lot of times ink is not really regulated, so you don't know what kind of ink is there until you start working with it and trying to remove it. So industry standard, the answer to that I'm supposed to give is 6 to 12 treatments, which sounds like a lot. But with my laser, which is the new evolution in laser, I'm lightening people up in about 3 treatments for cover-ups and maybe a couple more for complete removal.
So the numbers are coming down. The technology's improved.
The technology's improving. So
and the space between those treatments?
4 weeks minimum.
4 weeks minimum.
4 weeks minimum.
So how do you know when to stop? How do you know when to stop? Like on the first treatment, do you cover the whole surface and then go, or do you just do part of the tattoo? Like how much can a person endure?
You can't go around an entire extremity. So if they had, say, a tribal around their upper arm, which was a very popular thing a couple years back, you can only do the front half first treatment, back half second treatment. You can't go around the entire extremity because there is a risk of swelling, and you don't want to put yourself at risk or the client at risk for any of that. So
well,
it's interesting.
It seems it's a little more complex than what you think. Although the good news is that it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done. And what's your motto again?
Change your mind, change your life.
Yes, and you can change your life because you might go, I don't like Bonnie anymore.
Or
I don't like Bob anymore.
I get a lot of names.
You get a lot
of names. My ex-husband, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-girlfriend.
You know. Or you're just like, why did I have that arrow shooting through that such and such, you know, when I was 18 and now you're 20, you know, you're older and you just realize it's maybe a little more darker tattoo than you originally realized.
And what I love about it is...
Or not so professional.
People love their tattoos. It's such a expression of who they are.
Yes.
And they might just want to modify it, or they might want to just get this piece of it off, but keep the other part of it.
Adapt it.
It's
Yeah.
Very interesting.
No, I mean, it's great because it's almost like, if you will, an eraser.
Yeah,
A little bit of an eraser, and that's what artists do that draw. They erase, or they even oil painters. You just bring in another color and change the angle of something. So that's really, really cool. And so you have a grand opening coming up, right?
We do.
And so, yes, there it is right there, the grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony. Tell me about that, and when is all that?
Well, I actually saw my first client at the end of September. But
Okay.
The city of Coconut Creek reached out as a new small business in Coconut Creek and said they would like to, make it official and do the ribbon cutting and a grand opening. And Coconut Creek TV will be there, and some photo ops for Coconut Creek News. So it's some nice free advertising for a new business, which is kind of nice. So I've invited every licensed tattoo artist in Dade, Broward, and
cool.
Palm Beach County, and every tattoo shop in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. So those invitations went out about a week and a half ago.
And when
so
when are they?
Pardon me?
When is the event?
The event is November 29th. That's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
And
2 days
tell us
from
again,
today.
what time is the event?
It is 5:30
And where is it again?
Okay, it's at my office at 4400 West Sample Road, Suite 240. And it's Wednesday, November 29th from 5:30 to 8:30. Just a chance to come in, see the office, see the technology of the new laser, and should be a nice nice
that's
event.
cool.
Get to know some people in the community, and hopefully the tattoo artists will come, and I can increase their business. They can help me, I can help them. So,
as an alma mater of Coral Springs High School, what were you involved in? Were you involved in?
I was the captain of the drill team.
Oh, you were the
captain. I was a coltette.
Oh,
yeah.
My friend was on the drill team, but I think she's a little bit. Oh, you said 86?
80.
80. We're not supposed to say 83. Oh, okay, 83. No, we were 88 and 87. So you might have just been one little class before us.
Yeah, but my mother worked in the office for 20 years at Coral Springs
I don't
High.
think I ever got in trouble and went sent to the office. That's why I didn't remember her. That's why I didn't remember her when you mentioned it. And so, I want to take a moment thank you again for coming on and sharing about that. And I wanted to point out that if you go to her website at vanishthat.com and you see her logo, it's a really cool logo. I like all the colors on your website.
Thank you.
Very cool. Whoever did it did a great job.
Thank you. Web.com.
Okay, there
shout out.
There you go. Is on her website. If you look at it, there's like a line going through, and you think like it's almost like an error, but it's not. Right at the tip, that's the nozzle.
That's the laser.
For the laser.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that, and then when you see the little starburst of when it hits the skin. So kind of cool.
Yeah.
Good design.
Thank you.
Who did design?
Web.com.
Wow.
Well, actually, the logo was created by 99 Design, which is an online.
Oh yeah. That's cool. They'll send you a bunch of them.
They'll send you a bunch of
They
them.
did good.
And then Web.com did the website. So
Awesome.
they did a great
Good
job.
Yeah. I want to change subjects a little bit before we bring on Lisa Archer with the Howe Foundation, before we get into hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help people as well. Did you want to say something else?
Can I mention one last thing?
Absolutely.
We do tattoo removal for anyone that is going through radiation, for any like cancer survivors. A lot of times they get a tattoo for the radiation spot. Women for breast cancer, and we remove those radiation spot tattoos for free.
Okay, so they get a tattoo from the radiation?
The radiologist will put a tattoo where the radiation laser needs to treat their cancer. And they put it. It's called a radiation spot.
And
tattoo.
you'll remove that for them?
We'll remove that one for them for free.
Oh,
as
that's
a survivor.
so nice.
Yes,
Oh,
and we also are
I didn't know
helping
that.
people coming out of rehab or any incarceration, trying to get reacclimated back into society. Perhaps they have a tattoo somewhere where that reminds them of their previous life, and they wanted to change it up a little bit. We help
And
them
that
out,
can
give
help
them
them
very,
help
very
them for
reduced
employment
price.
purposes
Right.
as well.
I'm a nurse. I got into this to try to help people and keep it cost effective to serve the masses.
That's awesome. Well, what a good heart. And
Thank you so much.
On that note, I just want to bring up another event that is actually going to be a new sponsor of our show, and they are called the Brinker Education Initiative. And are you familiar, Jamie, with STEM? STEM has to do with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So there is a nonprofit organization called the Brinker Education Initiative, and it's with Mary Ellen Brinker, and her husband, who are not Hispanic, out of Chicago, have decided to focus on the students here in South Florida that are of perhaps of immigrant parents on educating them about the fact that the job market, 18 out of the 25 top jobs in the country are of STEM nature, of science, technology, education, mathematics, and perhaps because those parents may not be as knowledgeable about it because of their own background, they want to make sure that the kids are getting exposed to it. So, point of the subject is that the Brinker Education Initiative is hosting a STEM Empowerment Day at Cooper City High School, and we're going to be having Mary Ellen on the show on December 11th, just before, actually, we're going to be having on for the next few months, but I wanted to highlight the event. It's at Cooper City High School, 9401 Sterling Road, Cooper City, Florida, on Saturday, December 16th, between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. They're coupling with Nova Southeastern, FIU, Waste Management, and a variety of other sponsors, the U.S. Army, FAU, GameStop, and even myself. I'm not an immigrant, but I'm of Hispanic origin. I went to school in the sciences. You went to school in the sciences. My older brother, is an executive in finance, and he actually came here from Colombia and became very successful in this country. He definitely a lot of hard work and a good personality, but it was my parents that certainly encouraged us. And at the dinner table, this Thanksgiving, we have a 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, and the conversation came up about college to the 12-year-old. And the point is that not all families have those conversations, because not that you're trying to, harass the kid and push the kid into it. It's just it being in the child's background that this is what I aspire to. If you want to be able to succeed at a little bit higher level, and as you get older, and as a result, I myself have been able to care for myself and, through a job. And so I'm very thankful for what my parents did. And so this event, the Brinker Education Initiative, if you want to look them up, you can look them up at brinkereducationinitiative.org, O-R-G, or you can reach out to them at 773-717-6828, or you can go to GoFundMe.com and type in the Brinker Education Initiative, and you'll learn more about them. I think it's great that they are focusing on providing, how do I write about it? They are providing South Florida children who excel in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, financial support to achieve their educational goals. And so what they're trying to increase the numbers, but I think right now they're between 6 and 10 students, giving scholarships to continue to further their education. And so I'm really excited to learn more about them and to see what they're doing, because it's better to educate the students than to get them off the streets, to continue to inspire them, because, if you will, they are our futures. And so plant the seeds. And so I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm glad I've been introduced to them, and I want to do everything I can to try and, raise awareness about their, so anybody that has, it's open to the public, anyone that has any students, the Broward County Schools, anybody that wants to be a sponsor for that event or anything further, they'd be happy to hear from you. So we're going to be back with Lisa Archer and hear about their foundation, which is another unbelievable organization, because sometimes people get injured, and they're providing a service to help people to improve especially me as a therapist, as a clinician that's always looking of how can I get somebody to functionally perform better in therapy. I'm super excited to talk about Lisa. So we will be right back. And thank you, Whitehall Boca Raton, for letting us put this on today.
We'll
be right back. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Could you be winning by not losing? Do you know that there are safe money strategies that can benefit you when the market goes up, yet protect you when the market goes down? Hi, my name is Sarah Finkelstein with Signature Advisory Group. I'll show you how you can have safety and opportunity on the same dollar at the same time. Most people know where to find safety. That's bank CDs. And most people know where to find opportunity.
You want to save time and not be in front of the computer, the dark room of the new photo generation. Let Mobile Portrait Pros come to you, offering business portraits, executive portraits, mobile headshots, actor headshots, and campaign headshots for political teams. Innovation at Mobile Portrait Pros serves Palm Beach County and beyond. Just call 866-443-0873. That's 866-443-0873. Headshots door to door.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392-3000 for more information or to schedule a tour with our admissions team, and we will answer any one of your questions. You can also visit our website at whitehallboca.com. For more information, call 561-392-3000. That's 561-392-3000. Whitehall Boca Raton is committed to provide you with the best medical care.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Welcome back to Community Connections, and it's just been a fabulous Monday here on the show, and you are listening to us live on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, locally here in South Florida, and we are live streaming on Facebook at Community Connections with Norma G, and I want to go ahead and introduce my next guest, Lisa Archer. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Norma?
Great. And Lisa Archer is the development director of the Howe Foundation, SouthFlorida.org, and the Howe Foundation is an acronym for Help Our Wounded. And, you know, I'm just going to let you kind of just dive right into it because I can just keep talking. And, you know, and I want you to have your time because before we wrap up the end of the show. And so, you know, it's just an amazing organization. So talk to me about it. It really is a
fabulous organization. It was started, it'll be 4 years this January. And it was started by a woman whose brother was deeply affected during the World War I with post-traumatic stress. And he really suffered his whole life. He passed away probably about 5 or 6 years ago, but he suffered most of his life, a number of divorces, and never was really treated for it. And there wasn't really much to do for post-traumatic stress until the last, I would say, 10 or 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
what treatment? Because I don't want to let it go too long. Is hyperbaric oxygen therapy?
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is successfully treating. And there haven't been any completed studies, but it's successfully treating post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury. And so the foundation was started to help veterans specifically with TBI and or post-traumatic stress.
And that's because it's drawing more oxygen to the brain,
Well, the hyperbaric oxygen therapy is you are put into a cylinder and you are immersed in 100% oxygen. And the actual treatment takes about an hour and a half. You have to actually go down and then come up. The oxygen actually eliminates the swelling. And so it's very good for inflammation. It reduces inflammation, and then that's how it really helps the brain. A lot of times it swells, and so it will reduce that inflammation, and that's how it will help the PTS.
It's incredible. And, when I think about the neurological conditions that come from traumatic brain injury and how the brain has a blunt force,
right,
or it has a tumor, or it has a hematoma, a blood vessel that bursts, an aneurysm, all these different things that can create all kinds of stroke-like looking conditions
right,
that the brain, gets it's like a stroke. It's similar to a stroke. It's when oxygen gets cut off,
right,
to the brain,
right,
and so you're providing the brain neurologically has been known to reroute in order to refunction, and so that's the beauty of the brain. It actually creates like new railroad tracks in the brain, and that's why we can see recovery oftentimes when there is a necrotic area in the brain,
right.
And so by increasing the amount of oxygen, it's
right,
great that
right,
that you're providing that.
And all of the treatments that we do, they get a SPECT scan before and a SPECT scan after treatment. So you can actually physically on the scan see the difference.
Wow.
And see the reduction of the inflammation.
It's incredible. And so it's important to note that this is not specifically, you're not representing one particular clinic.
No.
What you are a nonprofit organization that's providing funding
Correct.
for people with neurological conditions. So people have to, if you will, enroll with you or sign up with you to see if they meet criteria.
That's true. The foundation provides access to hyperbaric oxygen therapy by
Access.
providing funding for it. Correct. And so you can go to our website, which is howfoundationsf.org. There is an application, a grant application on there. And so anyone that feels that they are in need of treatment and can't afford it, because it runs between $185 and $250 a treatment, and protocol for PTS is 40 sessions, consecutive sessions. So it can be costly. It can cost $8,000 or $10,000.
So, and that's for someone that, if you will, someone that's not a wounded veteran or someone that's not, because it's not hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Correct me if I'm wrong, is not solely for just people with neurological
not at all.
No, it's for all. I can go.
Right.
You know, if I just want to feel better and have a little more therapeutic energy and this and that.
The interesting thing is that insurance companies don't cover it for neurological conditions, and that's why we provide funding for it.
Right. And so what you're doing is you're filling in a gap, and that's why it's a nonprofit. It's a charity for helping this population of injured. And so that's awesome that you're, you know, that I know that there's the brain injury what is it? What's the name of the it's in the state of Northern Florida.
Yes, every state has one, a brain injury
association.
It is,
kind of like the national such and such, the National Brain Injury Association. Now, do they stand behind this?
Yes, they do. But, and the reason insurance companies don't cover for it is because the FDA has not approved it. There needs to be a certain amount of studies, and they need to go through that criteria before the FDA will approve it.
Yeah.
So it's not approved by the FDA, and that's why it's not covered by insurance.
Yes. Well, many things aren't covered by insurance, so they're not alone.
But the interesting thing is the veterans that we've helped, it is amazing that some of them have insomnia that can't sleep at all. Some of them are very withdrawn. They don't bathe on a daily basis. When they complete treatment and their spouses or significant others say, he showers every day now, he can sleep all night long, it's really gratifying to see that.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. It's because the brain is receiving a lot more healthy air or oxygen that runs, and then oxygen runs through our bloodstream. I mean, maybe I should be talking to Jamie. She's the nurse over here, but she's the oxygen runs through our blood in our bloodstream, and that's what helps, go to the rest of our organs. Right. And so that's why we feel better when there's more oxygen in our, when people say, I'm an air conditioning person because I was raised down here. I don't know anything otherwise. But people that come down here, they say they prefer where they come from because of the fresh air.
Right.
It's just more the better quality oxygen. But I'm not moving because I don't like the cold. So I had on Sarah Crane.
Yes.
Which is the executive director.
She's the executive director.
And she was a great gal. Energetic. She had a passion for the studies of the brain. And I know she was in England, if I'm not mistaken.
She did study.
My brain's still okay if I remember that from months ago. And so, how did you get involved, and what is your role as a development director?
I do the funding. I do grant writing. I will assist with some of our events. We have 2 signature events. We just completed the Dine for Veterans, which is the week of Veterans Day, and then we have another event coming in April. We have the date is to be determined. But it will be the 2nd annual Pinball Wizard event held at Silver Ball Museum in Delray. And those are our 2 signature events. So it's up to me to help identify donors, cultivate them, and educate them about hyperbaric oxygen therapy so that they will provide us funding so that we can in turn provide scholarships.
That's incredible. And so it's, there's so many needs, out there. But, everyone has different things that tug on their heart.
Right.
And then also sometimes people just say, well, I like to diversify my giving.
Right.
So you never know whose heart you're going to know or you're going to tug on. All you can do is ask, inform, or raise awareness. Right. And then also you never know how many degrees of someone has personal experience with something like this. Right. And so as we know, the post-traumatic stress disorder is a clinically diagnosed condition that many people have. It's pretty obvious why a wounded veteran, why many of them may particularly have it because of things that they've endured.
First responders we've helped.
And then you have the I was going to say moving, whenever we think of post-traumatic stress disorder, I think people oftentimes think of the, warriors. War. you know. But if you look at what so many people, just the things we've seen in this past month with the hurricanes and with the other shootings and stuff like that, I mean, these are very traumatic events that I don't think anybody's near. You know, I'm not personally connected to those events, other than what happened here in Florida. But it's very traumatic to lose your home, to lose a loved one traumatically like that, or to lose a limb. You know, and so these conditions are very, very serious. And so we want to wrap our arms around these people one way or another to make sure that they have the proper mental health. We talked a lot about the physical health, you know, that I provide, but the mental health is super important as well. How do we find the How Foundation if we want to give? And I want you to come back.
I will.
Reach out to me in March. And so that way you can come back and we can talk about this event, this pinball. It's a really cool thing with the pinballs, and you get to play all night.
A lot of fun.
At this
fun.
specialty pinball machines. How do we find out about the How Foundation?
Go to howfoundationsf.org, and or you can give us a call at 561-450-6213. We're here to answer any questions. You can go to the website. You can fill out an application. We're here to help.
That's awesome. And so you don't have any events between. You said you have the
no,
Dime
but
for Veterans.
ironically, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. Do you know about that?
You know, I saw it on your website, but I didn't understand it fully.
It's a national day. There's Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday, and there's Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, after we kind of gorge for ourselves.
Gorge and thank God for everything. We're thankful on Thanksgiving, and then we go out and spend all of our money and rack up our credit cards. And then we get all of our kids and our family and friends gifts for the holidays. And then it's time to give back. And it's Giving Tuesday.
So it's Giving Tuesday. And so what is it?
Anybody can give to any organization and give back. And so you can go to our website and you can make a small donation and help us to help others.
Oh, so it's kind of like a national kind of call out to...
A National Day of Philanthropy.
Yes, a National Day of Philanthropy.
Yes.
Well, that's very, really cool. I didn't know that. But I did see it on your website, but I was too busy putting everything together for this show that I'm like, I can't absorb another thing. I'll find out about it tomorrow. I'll ask you about it. So that's great. Pound Giving Tuesday. And so I want to thank all of our guests today, Sarah Finkelstein with MyMedicareSupplementsForYou.com, as well as Jamie Plastino. She is the laser tattoo removal specialist at VanishThatTat.com, as well as Lisa Archer at thehowfoundation.org. Reach out to any of these folks. If there's of any of those, they can provide any of those services. But I do love this hashtag Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday. Give to the How Foundation or give to the Brinker Education Initiative. And I'm going to search my heart and see where I'm going to be giving tomorrow. And so I'm looking forward to the show next week. I want to thank Whitehall Boca Raton for them giving to us, to myself, as well as to the community to be able to deliver this information. And so have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you next Monday.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. While recovering, you will receive 24-hour licensed nursing care along with dietary and nutrition services. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Come see the Whitehall Boca Raton difference. Call 561-392